Have you ever wondered why losing someone, being rejected, or watching a dream fall apart hurts so deeply? Why does the mind keep replaying memories? Why do we suffer long after the event itself is over? Thousands of years ago, on a battlefield, Krishna revealed a truth that remains just as relevant today. He said that suffering is not born from love, it is born from attachment. And there is a profound difference between the two. Most people spend their entire lives confusing attachment with love. And because of that confusion, they unknowingly create their own suffering. Tonight, let's explore one of Krishna's deepest teachings, a teaching that has the power to transform how you see relationships, success, loss, and even yourself. Let us break this into 5 parts to understand each of it clearly. Part 1. What is attachment? When we hear the word attachment, we usually think of relationships. But Krishna's teaching goes much deeper. Attachment is not simply loving someone, attachment is when your happiness becomes dependent on something outside yourself. It is when your peace depends on another person's behavior. It is when your self worth depends on success. It is when your identity becomes tied to possessions, status, relationships, or outcomes. Attachment whispers, I need this to be happy. I need this person to stay. I need life to go according to my plan. And the moment life refuses to obey our expectations, suffering begins. Krishna observes something most people never notice. Everything in this world changes. People change, circumstances change, bodies age, relationships evolve. Nothing remains the same. Yet the human mind desperately wants permanence in an impermanent world. This is where suffering is born. Part 2. The chain of suffering. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes a psychological chain that traps countless people. He explains that attachment gives rise to desire. Desire gives rise to expectation. Expectation gives rise to frustration. Frustration gives rise to anger, confusion, and sorrow. Think about it. The more attached we become, the more fearful we become. Fear of losing, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of change. Suddenly, life becomes a constant struggle to protect what we are attached to. We become prisoners of our own expectations. The irony is that the thing we cling to most tightly often becomes the source of our greatest pain. Not because it is bad, but because we have made our happiness dependent upon it. Part 3. Love versus attachment. This is where Krishna's teaching becomes revolutionary. He never taught people to stop loving. He taught them to stop clinging. Love and attachment may look similar from the outside, but they arise from completely different places. Attachment says, you belong to me. Love says, you are free. Attachment fears loss. Love appreciates the present moment. Attachment seeks control. Love seeks understanding. Attachment is rooted in need. Love is rooted in wholeness. When you are attached, you love because you need something. When you truly love, you love because your heart overflows. One creates bondage, the other creates freedom. Krishna's message was not to become cold or detached from life. His message was to love deeply without becoming dependent, to care without possessing, to give without demanding, to remain open without becoming enslaved. Part 4. Arjuna's in a battle. This is exactly what happened to Arjuna. Standing on the battlefield, he was overwhelmed. He saw teachers, relatives, and loved ones standing before him. His attachment clouded his vision. He could no longer see clearly. Fear took over. Confusion took over. His mind became paralyzed. Krishna did not tell him to stop caring. He did not tell him to become heartless. Instead, Krishna helped Arjuna see beyond attachment. He reminded him of his higher purpose. He reminded him of the eternal nature of the soul. He reminded him that wisdom arises when we act from truth rather than fear. The battlefield was not just a physical war, it was the battle taking place inside every human heart. The battle between wisdom and attachment, between freedom and fear. Part 5. The hidden attachment. Most people never notice. The deepest attachment is not to people, it is not to money, it is not to success. It is attachment to the image we have of ourselves, the ego, the story we tell ourselves about who we are. When someone criticizes us, why does it hurt? Because the ego feels threatened. When life doesn't go according to plan, why do we suffer? Because reality challenges the identity we have created. Krishna's teachings point toward a deeper truth. You are not your possessions. You are not your achievements. You are not your failures. You are not even the roles you play. Behind all these temporary identities exists something unchanging, the true self.